What's going on, guys? So today on this SHOKY review, we're taking a look at the next thing in the Gaoranger Shokugan modeling project sets, and I forget exactly how to express this one, but it's an interesting set because there's only two Zords in it. One is a gigantic red lion, and the other is the elephant Zord. Interesting. And we've already seen the teaser as to what it makes. And something I forgot to point out on the last box. We do get the Bandai Namco logo on virtually everything now. So that's just showing that off. So basically, come over to this side. You got the elephant. You got it there with basically the Wall Force Megazord Shield and Sword mode, I believe is what they called that. Also, there's a nice image of the actual Rangers themselves there, which, by the way, just got the Blue Ranger in. Strange that they haven't really barreled down this path, as it were. Okay, and if you come over here, you do get the red line, you get all our warnings and such. These boxes are impossible to make do with the rotating thing that I always pull off. Red line there, and if you come around here, and you've got big red lion combined with these particular sets. Get you whatever that technically is called in Gaoranger. I'm not sure. I believe it's Gaoranger Pegasus Mode is what it's meant to be called. So it's a giant red lion combined with the shield and sword and the falcon sword. It's pretty crazy arrangement. And of course, with the elephant, we get a few extra cool details and stuff like that. So that's enough of the box. There's really not a whole lot going on here. I might have to consult the instructions, which I think are inside, just in case, because there's a lot of options here on out when it comes to combining Zords. And I just want to make sure that I get it all right. So let's get the box out and get this one rolling. Alright, guys, so here are the two Zords that actually do come in this box. And we do have our Jumbo Red Lion and our Elephant Zord. Now, way back in the day, something I forgot to point out with the box, the big Red Lion, I believe, came as its own thing. It was actually an electronic toy. It would growl and walk and do all kinds of stuff. I think even play the summoning song, stuff like that. And what's really kind of funny is, like, this is, like, kind of close to almost what the original Gao Lion was. I mean, it's probably a little oversized even for that. But it is funny to think that this is basically, like, almost deluxe Megazord creature size in the first place. So, let's take a look at it first, since I've already got it in hand. And mold-wise, it is effectively the same as the miniature one, and there's your size difference. And it's actually a pretty cool scene. It like swallows this orb that comes out of the, I believe comes out of the princess's necklace or something like that, because she's imprisoned. And like the lion swallows it and then grows to an enormous size for some reason. The only thing that sucks is that this one is painted gold on the claws and everything like that. This one is the gold plastic. In theory, I could have painted it. I chose not to. So, I mean, you do still have the same tail that waggles like so. All of the legs do work like that. You can yoink it out entirely, which wasn't my goal. I wanted to extend it. So you can extend it out a little bit. I kind of jacked that up a little. I forgot how far it could go, or couldn't go, I should say. And then you do have the ankle joints, which are, I didn't think it was that limited, but I guess it is. So the back claws can only move so far, and then you have these parts that flip out. I thought this would move, but I guess not. Maybe that's just the front legs. So the front legs have a similar extension mechanism, so they can come way out like so, and can rotate. You do get the knee/elbow joint. It's a cat, what do you expect? You do get these little flappies here. I guess they're just there as like an ankle guard. But then the actual ankle has kind of a double joint. It's got a thing here and it's got a thing there, but then the foot can also tilt side to side. The back one is similar. I didn't really cover, can also tilt, and then can also do that. Why did I think the back ones could move? Alright, and then you do get some movement from the bode. It's a big ball joint, basically. It can move around. You gotta watch where you stick your thumb, because you might accidentally move all this around. Here's what it is. The lion head can move, which is cool. So you can get all that movement. You can get him to even look down a little bit. It does actually extend quite a bit, which seems entirely unnecessary. But it's neat that you can do it. You got that rotation joint, and you got that rotation joint, which is cool, but completely unnecessary. By the way, painted eyes, painted ears, painted teeth, and he can roar. And you know, you can position it about as much as you kind of want. And yeah, he'll do like a big cat clawing stage sort of thing, especially when you plant the feet using the ankles. And also this one's cool because it does have the thrusters that are here, whereas on the little ones that has to be the pegs for the shoulders as well. This one isn't going to be the torso of anything, it's going to be the legs, which seemed really funny. And you know, they switched to using the Falcon Zord out of necessity, because a lot of times they just, basically the Zords got their asses handed to them, or they were worn out or whatever from a previous battle. But having so many Zords at their disposal, you know, having another majorly powerful torso bot like the Falcon was great. Also, you do get some rotation shoulder-wise there. That's pretty good. Or hopefully that's good. And by the way, this is made of ABS. You don't want to use your, like, hefty panel liner or anything else like that that could eat away at the plastic. So I did use a basic panel line marker just to highlight some of the stuff here in its mane, and then on a few things like that. Is a lot less harsh to the plastics, so you can use it. Whereas I would use a pore type panel line marker on like a Gundam or something. So, all right, let's take a look at the elephant, because it's a new accessory Zord. So, you know, half the story with Gaoranger slash Wild Force is that most of the Zords themselves just become an appendage or an accessory. This one is an accessory. But it's a cool one. So, I mean, here on the eyes, they're painted red. Here on the snout, you got some painted gold. Tusks are painted gold. These bits here, you got some black painted around the silver there. Virtually everything else, though, is stickers. So, stickers, 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 stickers. Nothing here at all, for some reason. The tail, that does move. Okay, it's just stiff. And then the feet are molded separately in silver, but it is what it is. You can move the ears, so you can make the tusks move up and down. They're hollow, unfortunately, but, you know, what are you going to do? You do get this slightly movable trunk. Almost called it another tusk, which is, of course, part of its weapons mode. Now, there is an accessory change you can do for this guy. This section right here can come in silver or blue. You can just choose it. You know, it's whatever. I went with the silver because I saw that mostly on screen. I think blue may have been like a singular appearance or something like that, and they just included it anyways. He technically has an opening mouth down here, which is a little weird, but it's there. But this also allows you to drop the trunk. See, I got on my own head, the trunk down, and you can do that. And this one is flexible, though of course in weapon mode you do get way more options. Now the feet do move, or rather the legs do. I think the feet technically, yeah, the feet can rotate. They're just on pegs, so you can get a little movement out of the legs here just for some posability. It's nothing too crazy. It is just an elephant after all. But this one was definitely one of the more annoying ones on screen because it did make a whole lot of noise, as it were. I should probably actually get that bag of extra accessories and stuff like that and make sure I have everything that I need whenever I get started on the rest of this. Because this set actually comes with stuff to add to previous sets, which is pretty interesting in and of itself. So, while we have it here, I'm going to leave the lion off to the side, and we're going to bring out the entire Zord set, because with the elephant, that literally is all of the mainline Zords that the Rangers actually used. So let's just pull them all out here. Alright, and much like the previous review, we've got every Wild Force Zord out here, or Gao animal, however you want to call it. Oh, the Animarium head was poking out there. Alright, and by the way, I had to put the eagle sitting there. It did not want to stay on the stand like I had it last time, so it's pretty impressive. Like, and they got the elephant fairly early on, I believe. It seemed like it, but it just became prevalent within these kits because it was never a main unit. Like, technically, giraffe and deer before this one came along were just straight up accessory Zords, and then they became, you know, more necessary to an actual full-on Megazord arrangement after that. So that's the one thing that's interesting about these, as we'll cover at this point, because this is where things get weird. Actually, they were already pretty weird with Gaoranger, or the Isis Megazord, whereas you've got only a couple sets of legs, realistically, so you can only make so many at a time, you know, so many combinations at a time. Whereas before, you could do Kongazord, the Wild Force Megazord, and the Predazord all at the same time on the same battlefield. After that, you kind of have to pick and choose which main Torso Zord is going to become something, because you've only got so many legs. And now, after this, with the Red Lion becoming massive and turning into more of a horse than a lion, it's going to be a big old change. So, let's go ahead and check out the elephant and all its configurations with everybody else, and then we will also hook everything up and check out the, you know, Gaoranger Pegasus Mode with our big old red lion that's over there. And by the way, just for shiggles, you know, here's the big red lion compared to everybody else there. It's just absurd. So, all right. Okay, so I just decided to go ahead and make a mess here while I was at it. Alright, so let's transform the elephant here to its base weaponry mode. And first of all, you want to straighten out the trunk. Go ahead and open the mouth, and we're going to pull it apart and pull out. Oh, sorry, hold on. Rotate first, then pull the whole thing out. And now you're stuck with this part. And yes, I have all the extra bits out here. It is what it is. Flip that up, rotate the legs up, like so, and push the tail down. There's the sword side. As for this side, go ahead and grab the legs, and pull them out, and rotate up, pull it out, rotate up, and just kind of chill it in like that, and do with the mouth as you wish. Now, I like that this is kind of a reference to the original Mastodon shield, or Mammoth shield as they once called it. And basically that's pretty much it, like this. And you can leave your original trunk version here, or you can just yoink that off and utilize the very specific and much skinnier actual sword form here, which is pretty cool. And by the way, here is the blue trunk section here. I know I talked about it a minute ago, but yeah, there it is. So, you know, pick your poison. You can either keep it that way. I actually kind of dig the silver. I had it blue initially. One other thing I want to show off is the added weapon effect here, but I think there's a more specific version for this, but basically this is meant to just kind of go on the end of the Predazord's thing. And I think it's meant for when you're utilizing the purple shark, as it were, with this particular Megazord configuration that we're going to get to. So, I mean, you can do it that way. You can just leave it like this. You can just have it as an add-on to your... That was a really, really loud vehicle. Still being loud. Still being loud. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull the Predazord out of the way for now. And that's our shield and sword mode, but I'm going to go ahead and bring in the Gao King as it is. Yes, you can still see the Predator off to the side. And this is with the kind of BS legs. That is the Bull Zord legs. So what you want to do here, the shield side is made to go over the kitty face. But go ahead and rotate it so it's like this, where the ears are going up. And you can just push it in, and basically it just clips on. It's got a couple little spring-loaded areas there. Sorry, it's kind of struggling there. And then this section is meant to go over the shark face. So you can just... Oh, sorry. Not meant to just do that. I apologize. There's a hole there that's for the shark stand. Or if you were to put it on a flight stand. Sorry. I knew I was forgetting something when I did it. And like half of you were like, wait! And then I was like, okay, I got it. Alright, so there you go. You've got the Megazord shield and sword mode, which is cool in and of itself. Let me get these bits and pieces out of my way here. Now, we need to bring in the giant red lion. That was a funny noise. And like we've already gone over, well, the essentials for the lion here. So what we want to do is get it prepped for doing the Pegasus mode. And one thing we want to do, kind of pull the head forward just a little. And there's a lot of room there. Go ahead and push this forward. Push this part up. Push the gold part well, I thought that would slide back down. I guess not. And then this back. So in theory, that's supposed to lock that in place, and that's pretty much it for your guy here. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside because I have to get to our big bird assembly here, as it were. And we're going to go ahead and pull this off here. Set the rhino aside. Straighten out your tail without completely destroying your stickers. And come into here. Oh, okay, hold on. I'm like 90% certain that is supposed to drop down and out of the way. So I'm trying to figure out why it's not. There it goes. I was right in the first place. Go figure. Alright. And now you've got the peg there. And you plug on your big bird boy. Oop, that just popped right off. And then you want to remove the deer and the giraffe. Like so. And let's go ahead and return these shoulders back to their original configuration. If you watch the Gaoranger review, you know how this ended up the way it was. Okay. Okay. Trying to get everybody squared off here. And so we've got legs, arms, all these things. Now, to finish this off for the proper, like, Pegasus mode, we want shield and sword. So you take your shark and your tigress, plug that on, and make sure you crush your red lion while you're at it. You don't have to do that part, but you know, it's up to you whether you want to or not. Okay. And there we go. Why are you acting dumb? Okay, lock that in position. Lean that forward just a little. Trying to utilize the hips. And then we have our wings just out. It's ridiculous, I know. This is definitely one of the most ridiculous Zords. And you can utilize the lion's front legs, kind of get you a little bit more room here. Like so. And like I said, you can tilt this at the hip. Like, something I didn't quite cover was how the how that part works. And so there's that. And now he's got thrusters on the back. He can technically fly, and you can slash the crap out of things with your elephant sword. However, if you want to do his really cool chainsword attack, you do get an absolutely ridiculous and posable chainsword arrangement as well. So, yeah. Let me bring this up a little. There we go. Oop, there's a giraffe hiding out there. So, like, I think they only use this, like, a couple times, realistically. And just for, you know, giggles, let's bring in the remaining Zords, so to speak. And then you even have the Predazord, whose elbow is bending the wrong way. Good job. Good job, me. Okay, here we go. And once again, I think that the attack thing, that effect part, is meant to be used when, like I said, you can grab those arms and stuff, put them over here. And the great thing about this whole set is that you can mix and match, you know, with the exception of the alligator. You can basically mix and match. And there's not enough parts left over to actually make another complete Megazord, because you have rhino legs, you have those guys, you technically have an eagle that's left over. I have a partial eagle here, you know, so there's all that, you know. The actual eagle is still attached. Don't feel like tearing down that version as it goes. Because, like, once I get there, like, here's the weird part. So in the future, I'm not, you know, on display. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this, because while this is a really cool set, not having my other main Megazords does come across a bit silly in my mind, you know, especially with the fact that, you know, you've got these. So I mean, like, realistically, like, you can just go ahead and, you know, make alternate configurations to the best of your abilities. You know, you can jack around with it all you like. That's upside down. No wonder I can't figure it out. Okay. Like that. You know, if I want to pull the fake bull legs off. Oops. Always knocking off the eagle feet. One of the poorest decisions they've ever made. And, I mean, you can, technically, I mean, you can pretend that there's a small red lion hiding somewhere, but effectively what we have here is every Zord being utilized that you can actually build. You know, with the exception of an extra rhino that's over there. Because that's just how we do. Speaking of which, get that picture. I feel like the Kongazord eventually just gets relegated to the background, and like the Isis / Gao Icarus just sort of takes over. And then once you even get this far and you get a giant red lion that just gets a massive power boost, you know, it is what it is. Also, I found it amusing that now you have an elephant-faced tiger. So, oh well. And one other thing, I didn't talk about it. You do get this really cool Gaoranger stand, and you can utilize this underneath the red lion. I almost knocked everybody over with those friggin' wings. Okay, so you can actually prop up the lion with these holes underneath here or back here, just depending on how you want to do it. So, I mean, if you just want it to have kind of a flight stand sort of situation like this, you can. You know, you have the lion roaring, you even have his head turned and like crotch yelling at you. And one thing that's interesting is, like, because colors weren't necessarily important, you could have like the initial Zords were the right colors for each ranger, but then after that it's just kind of whatever. So that's kind of funny. So if I can I rotate? No, the tail's stuck. Hold on. Raise the tail up. Turn the head. We got the shield forward. Let's utilize some elbow action here. That's a pretty absurd. It's a pretty absurd thing going on there. So, yep, you can definitely do that. So not only do you have your animarium stand to be used with, at very least, that. And I guess technically you could probably use it in conjunction, perhaps. You know, plug it into the tail. And this does reposition down here, the stand. You can change that angle a little bit. So if you want the line to be like rearing up on his back legs, you know, you could totally figure that part out. Hold on, let me see here. Dang it. There went Kongazord. You stand over there. Think about what you've done. Okay. So let's pull this up. So if you have that straight up, now you have that at an angle. You can have your red lion doing some fun stuff like that. Does this torso? I always thought the torso could move a little bit more than that, but clearly not. Get these feetums way back, like so. And then try to utilize that center joint. And now you've got a red lion who's lunging off his back legs with this whole arrangement. And it's pretty epic and huge, by the way. And if I didn't mention it, I did get these from Big Bad Toy Store. You could purchase them directly from Bandai sometimes at a P Bandai store, or, you know, other Japanese online retailers and stuff like that. But I got it at the Big Bad Toy Store, and I'm pretty keen on it. And, you know, given all the rest of the Wild Force stuff, this is actually pretty awesome. I'm sad that, like, I basically don't even know if I'm really going to utilize this setup. You know, it's almost like with this, you should have just gotten the necessary Zords otherwise. So you could just have this separate from the Gao Icarus and separate from the, well, basically everything. But, you know, once again, much like the series itself, you know, you only had so many Zords. You know, unless you had the Black Elephant or the Extra Bears or the red gorilla or something like that. And yeah, I do know that there was probably a Blue Moon version of the Predazord set. I don't know. I never saw it for sale, but it's probably out there. So yeah, the Blue Moon version of the Predazord is probably out there somewhere. I don't need that. I'm going to be honest with you. But to have this set is pretty cool. I do wish you could have got the elephant on its own without having to buy the red lion, but it's neat because this whole set, like this, has to be one big thing, and it probably would have been even more expensive if they included the falcon with the huge lion. So either way, guys, make sure you at least go watch the Gao Icarus review that was last time to see how we even got to this point, and of course go check out the rest of the things here from the set. Sorry, I'm looking at my lights. I just realized from taking pictures a minute ago, most of them are out of whack. It's the way reviews work, and the way I'm having to film this, it's really out of whack. So either way, guys, let me know what you think down below. What is your favorite Zord? What is your favorite Megazord arrangement? Yes, you can do a lot more by just swapping arms and weapon sets and stuff like that. Whether you want the claws, you can do that with just the Gao Icarus basic stuff on top of this. You can swap the, you know, however many different leg arrangements you want for them, you know, Predazord arms and legs and stuff like that. And even, I think there is a weapons combination with the alligator tail staff thing and some other part that is technically a part of this, but because I don't know where my instructions are at the particular moment, I can't show that off. But either way, I love it. I'm happy to finally have these sets. I have one more coming, and that is the Gao God, otherwise known as Animus Megazord, is coming sometime soon. So either way, guys, I'll check y'all on the next one. And remember, as always, keep on building.